Hello, welcome to Infinite Transcendence, and today I want to talk about evaluating cost. This is a very important matter to becoming successful, because if you don't evaluate your cost properly, you're not going to really become successful, and if you manage to stumble into it, you won't keep it for long. The problem is people don't understand cost fully. They see cost as just a financial cost in terms of money, dollar cost, dollars and cents, but there's more to it than that. You have to look at the time you're spending, the money, and the mental cost on you. What kind of toll is taking on you when you engage in anything, and you have to evaluate risk, reward, and the entire return for your time and money you're going to get in order to make the best decision, instead of always trying to save a dollar and then cost yourself more in the long run. Now, definitely in the more impoverished mindset, even a lot of people I know, even some family I know, they're notorious about trying to save a dollar, even if it meant huge inconvenience or cost in the long run. Say trying to do everything yourself instead of hiring the right people, or trying to take a shortcut and use outdated tools and outdated equipment that doesn't last. Those kind of things that will cost you more in the long run, not only because of money, but also in time and frustration, just to save a few pennies. So what is your overall cost? Well, there's three costs. Like I said before, you have financial, time, and energy, and mental energy, and they all have their level of importance. And people generally say time is the most important, but time is, of course, you can't get time back when you lose it. But it's also an investment. If you spend a little bit of time to research something that saves you a lot of money, that's a worthy investment of your time. It takes you 10 minutes to find some. If you go to the store and something costs, $100, and you go on the internet and you do some research, find the same item for $20, you save $80, and you can do it really quickly. That's a good use of time. You might find a really good deal or hire somebody who's really good just by doing a little bit of research. That's a good time investment to save your money, because you need time to make money. Even especially if you feel like most people, when you make your money through labor. If you go out and earn your money through, punching a time clock or being out there on the field or getting your hands dirty, that means you have to trade your time and energy for that money. So anytime if you can invest a little bit of time and save a lot of money, that's time you can spend not having to make more money. That puts you that much further ahead. And also, you gotta look at your state of mind. Are you going to get frustrated and annoyed? Are you going to get burnt out? If you have to keep fixing crappy equipment or crappy tools and have issues with that, is it worth your mental energy? I remember when I was starting one of my other businesses and I had issues with some of my equipment. I listened to some bad advice and got to try to save a dollar and try to, or I had vehicle problems actually, and my parents kept trying to tell me to, save money and get something used. Save money, and I got something used, but it was some, on from Craigslist off the internet. It was just some hunk of junk. It cost me a lot of money. It cost me a lot of time. Very frustrating. It really hurt my business. Really slowed me down. It was really a hard lesson that I learned at the time. Was you can't always, just because you think you're saving up front. And I kind of knew it intellectually, but I guess it was getting out of my comfort zone and taking that large risk to buy something more expensive. I didn't want to do it at first, but then I saw in the long run that's the only way to go. Sometimes you have to invest more. And look at now I bought a newer vehicle. Once I did it, I had less headache, less hassles. It ran, it worked. I didn't have to deal with things breaking down. I had a nice, large, comfortable truck that I could get around with freely. So it was mental peace, and I had that downtime, and I was able to make the money to recover from the cost of it. And that's what you want to overall look at. There's tons of examples. I know they'll, instead of getting a U-Haul truck or hiring a small crew to help them move, they'll do it all themselves in their own vehicle and spend several days driving back and forth doing it. Is it really worth it to save a couple $100 to do it all yourself and waste an immense amount of time? I mean, what are you doing? If you try to do everything yourself instead of hiring somebody, like especially if you're a business owner, if you try to do everything yourself, you can hire somebody, even if they're almost as good as you, to do that same labor for a fraction of the cost. Then that's what you should do, because otherwise you're paying yourself a very, very low pay to do the same work. So that's definitely something you want to look at all your costs. So don't just look at time. And of course, time is important, because again, you can't get time back. Any time you lose is time you can't get back. So if you have to spend money to hire somebody or spend money to get good tools, then do that. But you got to balance the time and the money. Like another example is I had issues with my vehicle. And of course, you had a dealership, they give this huge price to fix anything, and it was an O-ring for my oil. And I looked that up online. They were trying to get me to replace the entire filter, which is like a lot of money, like a couple grand they're trying to charge for all this stuff. But I looked up online. I found a simple O-ring, because they changed the way the setup on the newer vehicles are. But I found the actual rubber seal for a couple dollars, ordered off the internet, and I put it on there myself. It took me about an hour of labor, probably less, and I saved myself lots of money. just by putting a lot of effort. So definitely manage all your costs in your time, not only through business but through life. Is it worth, if you gotta eat a bunch of junky food, you're eating a bunch of fast food, you may think it saves you time, but if it costs you more money, it's bad for your health, it's not worth it. If you plan your cooking properly, you can save a lot of time that way. There's tons of ways you can save time and save a lot of energy. Try to make your money work for you more, and to buy you time, and to buy you time, to buy you freedom, and not just freedom, but peace of mind. So that's the lesson I want to talk about today. And how do you feel you do at this? Do you feel you're good at evaluating your costs? Do you feel you try to save too much money at the expense of convenience and hassle? Do you drive? Are you the kind of person who drives across town to save a few cents in gas? Let me know what you do. And of course, again, comment, discuss, comment on the article, comment on the video, like and subscribe to the newsletter, get new information and great content, and transcend infinitely.